What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtime Doctor. So I am going to try to be as brutal as possible and honest as possible with this account review. So let's get to it. It's a 1 month anniversary, so I'll show you my progress, what I have, how I've done things. As far as banner characters go, I've gotten almost every banner character except for Dandelion, or Dantalion, as some would say. And I would love to have him, but I didn't want to go chasing on a dual banner. And as it's turned out for me, dual banners are so freaking dangerous. This banner right here, if I didn't have creator gems from being a creator, this banner would have wrecked me for probably the next couple banners. As you could see, my funds aren't as healthy as they used to be. So, haven't pulled on weapon banner, haven't pulled on base banner. And then right now, I just got Somona. At first, when I pulled on this account, I was at the mythical 2% eventually. And ended up getting... I forget who it was at the time, but I ended up getting them finally. And then I went back down to about 2.3. So my last pull was Somona. So you can see no gear pulls at all. My pulls haven't been anything amazing. There's Alexi there finally. 7 pulls ago. You could see what I went through trying to get him. I got a Missa. I remember that. And then there was Lilawell. And just to get Lilawell alone took me this much. So yeah, that banner wrecked me pretty good. And before that, that was the Ida pull. Ida I got within 4 10 pulls, so that was pretty cool. And before that, I got Leonid on her banner. Now, just to show you just how wrecked I got. Look at this. I haven't even redeemed them yet because I'm literally just going to save for the legendary ticket. Which right now, if I was like gun to my head, who am I going to get? It's probably going to be Momo. Even though her banner may be coming up soon. But love to have Nunal, love to have Momo, Dantalion, of course. And who else? I would take a Miguel. I think I could work Miguel pretty good. Iggy wouldn't bother me too much. I'd love to get a Magnus just to see what everyone's talking about. You all just saw my Knighted Guard video. I wonder what Magnus could do with that. If you give him all those buffs and his appropriate gear. But yeah, this thing, it keeps adding people to it. So I would love to just buy it. And then who knows, maybe just sit on it for a while or save it. I'm definitely saving it for a dual banner no matter what, because dual banners are so much harder to get the characters if you want both characters, and even if you don't, to be honest. So you could just look at the dual banner and be like, bing, I want, you know, Auguste or whatever future character. Now I'm going to go ahead, show you guys who I actually have and who I've built up. So we'll go round by round here. So Cole, in general, haven't found a reason to 60 this yet. Gotten the engraving that for more tiles traverse, Cole's hitting harder and defending better. It's a really good buff for her because you should already be able to get her crit pretty high so that you don't need the crit resonance. And then Void Staff, standard stuff, top tier stuff on her. Got her skin, got her with a devil. I don't have perfect devils. I would love to have more P attack percentage, but when you can get the double devil, you know, especially with as many characters as I'm running it on, as you can see, I put a bunch of it on just for farming various things. Got her to 2-star right now. I initially had her in the dungeon, the memory shard dungeon, and I've since taken her out. I would love to get her to 3-star, but I cannot justify it considering where I am on the account, what I'm farming, and the other characters that I have, so we'll get to that. Missa, I actually used up until about like the early 40s, and I abandoned her for a while in favor of PayPal Guard. I've since taken her back. You see the resonance I got on her. This is just really good. Managed to get the Newborn Blade to 5-star, HP 10%, P attack equal to 6% HP. Actually manages to hit pretty hard. As you see her HP over here, 5.3. I guess I'm in the way, but 5.328. In case you want to see Cole's stats, there they are. And yeah, so pretty much her stats are where I need her to be. She provides enough buffs right now that it's doing pretty good. I usually keep her with the Union Co just because a lot of the bosses that she's fighting, they have big wind-ups over 2 or 3 rounds. So in general, this will take the sting out of it, along with some of her other mitigation stuff. And then found her a Devil Tarot that got the proc as well as P defense and physical attack. That's pretty gnarly. You can see I'm using Devil on a lot of people. I actually think it's arguably the best one of the tarots as far as general use. Not always, but arguably. And then Rawiyah, I haven't used her as much as I have, but dang, did she carry me super hard in weapon battles and a bunch of like the harder battles in the game. Very good. Would love to get her to 5-star. Got her with this weapon right now, so got it to 5-star. It's amazing that 5-star goes to 40% ignore target defense. Resonance, she does need to crit a bit more. Do need to actually get a better percentage buff. This was the only person I used rainbow engravings on just to see how that would work in the stat spread. But overall, great unit, heals herself. When you have this on her, she buffs herself even more. Just crazy, all the... You know, by round 2, you can have 8 buffs on her. Just ridiculous. If you're struggling on weapon trials, this is one of the units you wanna try for it. And there's really no excuse not to use her because through the quest line, you can get her up to 4 stars. I haven't pulled any extra dupes. I haven't run her through any memory shard dungeons or anything. So through the various quest lines, you can just get her there, which is great. And your choice is between her, Mitha, and Fakao. So phenomenal unit. She's gonna go down on the tier list for me just because my use for her for now is pretty much at an end. Not that I don't use her at all, but I've beaten the weapon bosses, I've beaten most of the stuff I need her to beat, so this actually goes back and forth between her and Alexi, who we'll show you coming up here. And then Inanna, in a way, it's funny, because if you look at it, I don't have to have her stats as high as these ones, of course, because she's a support, right? I actually had her down, I think she was at 1800 something down with Angel for a while. And then I recently buffed her up, but you see what I have on her. Sky Heritage at 3-star, so more HP, more MP. I gave her Engraving Resonance. More of a test, but it also gives her bonus stats, and I was curious to see if it would reduce the cooldown consistently on her extra turn, Princess Prayer. I've only had it proc a couple times, so the experiment's still ongoing with that. Also gave her Buff Book. Pretty much, I do need to get that higher level for one thing, but in general, it's really nice because you're usually next to the units that you want to support and give extra turns and heals to, right? So of course, giving them a couple buffs on top of that. No foul play there. And then I've taken to giving her the healing effect tome. Just in general, it comes in pretty clutch. Now, you can choose on fights with a lot of minions to just give her another devil, which I probably will do in the future, but it rolled okay, so I think it's okay. And then the dying effect. I actually think this would be more effective on someone like Samantha, PvP healer, but in general, this is pretty good, and it's my only one that rolled the extra proc. So, love Inanna. She's enabled me to do so many things. She is one of the people I am actually farming. I definitely want to get her to 3-star just so we can get 2 heals at the end of a round versus, or her turn rather than 1 ally. And then eventually, hopefully, get it to where Princess Guard gets super tanky. Beryl. I go back and forth with Beryl. Of course she's really good, and she is one of the characters I'm farming shards for. Trying to get her to that level 3 so we can get a little bit more out of her. But, what can you say about her? She carries single target, AoE, she can even support. There's very few things that she can't do. This staff I really like on her. I would probably only exchange this staff for the staff that extends range, but of course I'd be using that on a couple people. But in general, I mean, AoE attacks, piercing damage, additional damage, and base damage, phenomenal. Hopefully I can get more copies of it. And then I've taken to giving her Spring Pill, because I find sometimes she does need that extra heal when she's out in the field and she's kind of doing her own thing. Occasionally, I give her what Mytha's wearing, the physical damage decrease. Just depends on the map. And if that's not available, I'll give her this, so she takes 10% less damage at full. And occasionally she'll need the magic one, but not usually. So she's doing really good for me. Of course, I'm running her with a magician. Sometimes I bust out devil on her, but for the most part, it's just nice to have that instant, you know, you hit with that single target, that instant 12%, which takes it to 24%. Got 10% magical attack. Don't like that. That's cool. It is what it is, but I think as far as a bunch of damage at once, that's a really good thing to have, because you usually want her to take stuff out really early, as fast as possible, because the ads are coming, and then the boss is coming, and the support's coming. Just got Somona yesterday. Just randomly I decided, hey, it'd be much easier to farm this event if I had Somona, because I get higher percentage, and I had 1,500 left. So click, rainbow. I was like, oh my god, okay, there goes the pool video. So I got her at 1 star right now. She's just rocking the cornucopia staff, because my other staffs are pretty much spoken for. I can, if I want to, just give her this one. Probably will in the future, but I don't have a hard need to do it right now. So I do actually need to do one more floor of tower by reset tomorrow, not this reset coming up. So I'll probably swap that out and then have her and Papel Ice Priest go knock everything around and freeze everything. And in general, I have her geared almost like I have her geared on the test server. Nothing super crazy, but good enough that I can have her get out and focus and do things and do what I need her to do. Make the team tankier, has a little pushback, has wall. The only thing I'm regretting right now with Somona is, because I only have one freaking Castilla, I really want her charge. And I should get her charge, and I am going to get her charge, but I saved my Castilla just in case I need it for some other reason right now. Because they're just so hard to get. That's just how it goes. Fake Owl, done wonderfully for me whenever I have huge range battles. This man makes an appearance. Really good in PvP too. If a tower decides to focus him and he's in range, he goes ahead and smacks him. And usually ends up taking him out, so that's pretty good. I gave him the alert trigger. This was advice I got from A Magic Joe. Because I already have him. Of course you want him hitting harder when it's not his turn. And I had him originally with this, which I've since given to Alexi. Strike back deals 10% more damage, but it was pointed out to me that this doesn't count for alert, which is very true. So still pretty good for him for his counter, but if you have more of an alert build, you're probably going to want to use this. Goes great with your alerts. Just controlling the battlefield, he's very adept at, especially with range units. So a little bit more damage there, and then of course you run him with the extra more damage, not on your turn, get some life steal out of it. Would love to have better overall stats, but P defense for him is actually not bad, because if he gets in a war with a couple archers, that'll actually help him go really far. Get him to 3-star pretty easily, so that's pretty awesome. We get a little bit more out of him. Getting him some more crit would be interesting. Just not on my plate right now as far as what I need. And let me look back real quick, because I might have missed the characters that are currently shard farming. Inanna, Beryl, and Gloria, which I guess we'll get the Gloria in a second here. So let's go ahead. Alexi, I used him initially for World 7, World 8, and a little bit of farming stuff, and he's back to farming for the new event, of course, because he's featured in it. Like I said, I switch axes whenever I have him as like a main damage dealer DPS. I go back and switch to the axe that Rawiyah usually has. Ignore 40% defense when he's zerking is amazing, but this is serviceable. It's fine because he lifes up. And if you want to life up off this, of course, when his HP percentage is lower, well, when he's at 0 health, his HP percentage is lower. So in general, that works better. However, you can, if you want, you can get Gore Drinker, which I usually have on him, and that gives him life up as well. But you can switch it out depending on what you're doing. And he has like amazing stuff. He has a good close. when he's dying, he increases attack and defense. He can ignore the effects of dying, which is pretty crazy. All the stat debuffs that usually goes with. But I went ahead, I have him with that. I have him with the strike back armor and then Devil, because Devil's going to work well for him. A little bit of P attack. This one actually rolled really well. I like this one. Would love to have an additional percentage, but you can't really ask for better rolls as far as what it rolled. Just wish the percentages were there a little bit greater, but you get what you get. This is an RNG game. My only thing with Alexi is would love to have this dude 6-star, but it's going to take so long. So hopefully I luck out and I get a couple clones of him just pulling or whatever happens. Maybe we'll get one from the event. Highly doubt it, because this dude would be just a monster later on for Tower of Adversity. And as far as Tower of Adversity goes, you guys should know you need 12 characters for that. It's not just 6 characters. So that's why when I made that additional shard farming guide, as long as the server's accelerated, we need accelerated shard farming. That's what I'm talking about, because at the rate we're going, you can either have 6, 7, 8 characters fully ready as you can get them, or you can have 12, 14, 16 characters kind of ready. So of course you want them fully ready. Kind of ready is going to be 3-star everybody, and then whatever weapons and skills and stuff you unlock. So Lilua has been a boon for me. She did so awesome on weapon battles. She does very good on the tarot battles, as well as just in general. Her movement's great. She has additional range. She stacks infection, but you can go pure damage on her if you want to. Phenomenal unit. Love this unit. Love her so much. Gave her this. I try to get her on Highland whenever it's possible, whether it's an Ida box or what have you. And then I exchanged something. I forget who it was, but I exchanged what she used to have. She used to have something similar to what Fake-Al has. And she's had double Wheel of Fortune for a while, and I haven't had huge need of her, so I've just kept it on her because the stats aren't terrible. It's pretty funny, and then her skills in general really good. I love this skill because when someone comes up to her, she just like hits them and goes back a couple tiles. Pretty awesome for anti-melee stuff. There's her additional range. I gave her more P attack build recently, so she can move again and she gets higher attack just passively. And then this is her big AoE, or excuse me, not AoE, her big single target deeps. Very good for PvP, very good for literally anything. You can even make it in her kit, even though I don't have it, so that she ignores pretty much any object in front of a person. So if Gloria's spear, a barrel, whatever it is in front of you, she can hit them anyways. So that's a pretty awesome one I'm gonna get at some point in the future. Just got to get to the point where I need it. So here's Gloria. I'm working on her shards, like I said. Only got her to 2-star. She's about, what is it? A little over a week, like about 9 days, assuming she gets more 3 rolls than 2 rolls, because I'm farming the level 8 dungeon. So we only get 8 shards, so someone has to get 2 while the others get 3. But man, getting her to 3-star is going to be so good just to get her movement up, and then 6-star is going to be a dream with that armor ignore. That is going to make her so crazy. Apparently I stole one of her things for someone else, but initially, because I didn't have that many lances, I was rolling her with this for back attacks, and it was kind of humorous, but you know, she's a knight, so I switched her to this. Now, when I need her to do hardcore damage, I still switch her back to this. Just haven't had the dust to get all the rest of this stuff up. I think in general, this is actually very good for her attack and defense gain, and HP as well on single target attacks. But, you know, defense and then 15% more damage, that's not bad. This is really good. Gives additional movement and crit if you move, which she's moving almost all the time, right? Can be really good on her AoE skills. And then this is another one. Oh, apparently I had a copy. How about that? I must have just got that. I completely missed it. I meant to click this one. So P attack, increased damage by 9%. Usually I run her with a devil. And yeah, her skill set, I mean, what can you say about Gloria at this point? Nungal. Originally when I re-rolled, I stuck it out for Nungal. And I kicked past a Momo, which in retrospect was a mistake. I should have kept the Momo roll, but I have her. She's really good. This bow's really good on her. I just haven't been at the point to where I need her to kill something with a lot of HP recently. So I haven't used her as much as I want to. But yeah, this is excellent bow for her. Gets her additional crit, piercing damage. Very good. I think I swapped out whatever she had before and gave her this. But normally if I'm running her, I give her this, which is currently on Little Will. And then I was apparently running her for mass crit. Mass crit on her is actually pretty good because you want her hitting hard. So crit damage. I had it with magic attack, which in retrospect is at folly because she does hit for magic, that is true, but it stacks her physical conversion to magic. So unfortunately, this really isn't that great for her, but I think I gave it to her because this was my only crit that rolled the additional thing that I had. Now she can actually do more of the damage that she can do at endgame, but her problem is she's 3-star when she needs to be 5-star so that you can get these additional damages and additional percentages for everything. So that's still going to be a journey for her, and who knows, by the time I get that worked out, maybe Auguste's getting ready to come out. No idea, but still, phenomenal unit, helped carry me early. Still love her, still think she's good. Miss Ida. Still love Miss Ida. I haven't had her in the rotation as much because there's not as much need for her in event because she's not in the farming reticle anymore. But she's still really good. Used her for one of the tarot dungeons. Really good one. The one with the 2 lashes. She's phenomenal in that one and helps with damage reduction, buffage, everything. Take Arms does really well. Guiding Gleam does really well. Throwing this out to stop movement and make everyone slower. And all of her follow-up, where she gives you more energy on follow-up, just fantastic, just amazing. And even, I've heard that at endgame, a lot of things are actually immune to her barrel, which is kind of sad, so you're not going to get the speed decrease that you get normally, and the M defense decrease. However, she's still really good at supplying energy, and she's still really good at buffing. So she still has a place in game. It's just going to take a while. I would love to have this unit on farm for shards because I need to get her assisted attack to 2 per round. You can kind of mitigate that with the skill I just showed you, but I would love to have it at 40% because she actually does decent deeps once she gets going and you get her with enough of those. Now, I'm running her right now with the bow that gives additional debuffs because she's hitting so much. You can make her counter, you can make her follow up. And then I used to have her with unique code. I'm building a second one for her. I just haven't spared the dust for it yet. But you can run her with a bunch of stuff. You can run her with the buff book. You can get her a little heal here if you want. Immunity to disrupt is actually pretty good on her as well. So it's kind of your choice on what you're willing to give her. And then I had her with this, but I think I gave her the other one that actually has the buff. I gave hers to Fake Owl that you saw earlier. But not bad for her. You can also run her with Devil. Devil's fine on her. Angel, this lady was very crucial in Weapon Boss 3 and I believe Weapon Boss 1. The Magician, fantastic. Love her kit. 3 additional buffs every time she heals. You can extend her range. Magic defense, aura for the rest of your party. Little AoE with Dispill. She's the Dispill queen, and I haven't had a need to have to use her recently. But had her with everything that would help Dispill. And whatever I used to have here, I swapped it out. I think she either had debuff bottle or... because I made her have a little bit offensive use, maybe flying armband. And also gave her the additional healing ink totem. But on occasion, I also had her with cornucopia staff, so she did really well there. Garcia, really good with farming stuff. Had her and Cole basically push my account early in mid-game as far as killing stuff, and used her on Weapon Boss too. She's really good on that physical weapon boss. And haven't had to use her. I used her a little bit because she's one of the farming units for the new event. but I haven't had to use her yet because, you know, you want to get her stars, you want to get her better gear. I switch her gear out for Cole's gear whenever I do use her. But in general, just haven't had the need for her, but still think she's a great unit. I can't justify building her considering who I need to build, which is unfortunate because I actually think she'd be really fun, and hopefully within 4, 5, 6 months, she can be one of the characters I'm building. We'll see. Leonid, I got him randomly trying to pull for, I think it was Ida, and I have used him. His mobility is actually pretty crazy. He goes in lines. So you basically initiate it so that you increase his movement 2 tiles, but he has to go forward, backward, or side to side. And in certain maps, that's really good, but once you start getting into like going down hills and mountain maps and that type of thing, a little bit harder to justify. But he's fun, it's just he doesn't work the way I want him to work. But I've built him up regardless because a lot of the quests require a second breaker to be built. So he's the other breaker that I have that I think is decent enough that, okay, I'll pour resources into you and then hopefully at some point there'll be more of a use for you. Just haven't had that. Nightingale. Now this is a unit, it was first pointed out to me by Per Platypus when we were on Vulcan stream. Fantastic unit, does decent healing, but her kit for her utility and attack is pretty crazy. The only unit I know of that has Burning Grenade, which is nuts. Does piercing damage as well as puts fire on the ground, which turns into burning damage, which destroys a lot of people. Had her with Painkiller. I think this was on a tower map, just so I could keep one of my tanks up. And as I say, her healing, I apparently had her healing up. Sleep, very good instant skill, and then Weapon Eroder, also a very good skill to do some damage and take attack down. Fantastic unit. If you haven't built your Nightingale, the only thing I need on her is 5-star. Unfortunately, that's the only thing, but still wonderful unit. Gets increased speed whenever someone goes down. Get there. Blade, I've since rated all Blade's gear, but I have needed Blade plenty of times for dodge tanking. I've seen him dodge tank, I forget if it was Weapon Boss 2 or Weapon Boss 1, I think it's 1. You know, just dodge tanking, just pull him out for tower. Dude's fantastic, didn't have him for a while, got him to 3-star now. And he'll do you good, has good mobility. Just takes away so much damage from the opposing team. Xavier, I haven't actually used that much. I pulled him out for a couple things, pull him out for PvP every now and again. But don't really use him too often. Abyss, she was MVP. I've since rated her gear, but she was MVP for Weapon Boss 1, I believe, is the Magician. Just keeping it debuffed, and then when it's debuffed and she's in front, Weapon Boss will hit her with a bunch of the multi-attacks, which she's taken 30% damage less. Every debuff on the attacker decreased damage taken by 10% up to 30%. So she's a fantastic magic tank if you don't have another unit to properly do that. Can do really good damage, keeps debuffs up, puts sleep up. Occasionally have to bust her out in tower. She's very good. Papel Ice Priest, what can you say? This dude carried tower for me for so long. Knockback, puts ice everywhere, keeps dudes away from you. Wonderful unit, very worth building. Samantha's been my PvP healer. Apparently I rated her gear, maybe I should put it back on. I think I gave her staff to Somona. Let me just go ahead and give her this. Just so PvP's not too easy. I have considered making a video on PvP because especially after you get platinum rank or whatever the top rank is, you really should take your defense team down just to make farming easier for everybody. I do that. A lot of people do that just so it doesn't take. But then there's a lot of people that really enjoy PvP. I think PvP is going to be really good once the real-time PvP events start coming. So that's just something for y'all to consider. I haven't made a hard video on it yet, but just to make everyone's farming, you know, have the map take 2 minutes instead of 8 minutes, 10 minutes. So we can get on, get our farm, go on with our day, whatever else we're doing. PayPal Guard I used for Weapon Boss 2 to tank his ranged attack. Very good unit once he has a shield, and One of the best swords you can get him is this one. HP 10%. When having a shield, increase defense by 30%. And he can pretty much give himself shield almost whenever he wants. So he gives himself shield equal to 25% of his HP and block enhancement. Well, you saw that sword gives 10% HP, so great unit for tanking in general. Stinger I just started using on tower because he does have Luxite Shrapnel and he does have Infected Dagger to put up more infection. And he does have a finisher, so if someone's under at the dying range, he will hit them a lot harder for piercing damage, 30%. And piercing basically ignores everything. So you can actually build him to be a very solid finisher, and hopefully at some point I am able to build that team up. We can go on and on, but I'll just go real quick. Recruit Assassin, he's the tank. He can do the dodge tanking just like Blade can, so occasionally you need two of them. Ballista hard carried my account so hard. I owe this dude a debt of gratitude. Early game, mid game, he carried me so hard. He is a fantastic unit for just about everything in this game. Even PvP. You gotta give him a turn so he can get his increased range, but still. Hits really hard, phenomenal. You can get him some bows. Haven't had need of him so much lately, but this dude will be built back up. I'm just conserving my level of currency currently for the questline stuff. Ladarian Scout, great in tower, has Luxite. KA Guard, you can use them for knockback, decent tank. Lash, I haven't built Lash as much as I wanted to because stuff's just been limited. Recruited Guard, very underrated tank. Outlaw Crossbowman, great for tower, knockback. Outlaw Archer has a trap that's really good. Outlaw Assassin, he can jump as high as you want him, and he has Luxite as well he can throw. Outlaw Guard really helped carry me in Weapon Boss 3, I believe it was. Consistently keeps attack down up, has a good chance to put down physical defense down. Wonderful unit for physical attack teams. Darklight Ice Priest, I used him for the first couple weeks in tower and haven't had to recently. Really slow unit, that was his problem, but he has ice, he can freeze units down, he can put a shield up. Not a bad unit to help you out. Flame Sorceress, I used her a little bit for her movement buff as well as some dot damage, mostly in tower. Divine Grace, I actually need to invest in Divine Grace more. That's another unit on my short list. Divine Grace, Ballista, a couple others. And then we start to get down to the units that I don't use as much, unfortunately, but do need to build them up. Might is one I've been curious about with the Union teams. So, curious about that. Want to see Lightning. You saw her in my last video. She looks like she could be really good. Crimson, they give us 5-star. Great Coal Light unit. Flare, you can see how much I respect Flare, and these are all the units I haven't invested too much in right now. Apparently I need to do Knighted Guard for sure. So this is where everything stands. I got Newborn Blade to 5-star. Beheading Machete, apparently this is really good for Dantalion. Haven't really built it up. Guardian's Will, great for PayPal Ice Guard. Y'all saw Brutal Axe earlier. Doing really well there. And just a plethora of weapons. I don't have everything I want. Aryan Crossbow just got maxed yesterday, so that's really nice. Whenever I need to bust out Fake Cow. Apparently I had an extra one of these and didn't even notice. Good thing I do these videos, or else I might never notice this stuff. Just got Hunter's Intuition, so that's been working out well. So that's my gear. Talent tree. Not as far as I wish I could go. A lot of that is just intended design as far as, you know, the actual currency. What I am doing right now, I'm getting this one up so that I can go over here and get the armor ignore and attack buff for Seekers. And hopefully eventually that recruited Archer 2. I have gotten the ones on Destroyer, so I've gotten this one. And then I've also gotten it on Watcher, which is right over here. And eventually when I'm done with Seeker, I'll probably go Breaker first and then Defender, because Defender I'll probably want to get the defense ones. Everything's not as built out as I want it, but, you know, you kind of have to pick your poison with talents. Furniture, the only thing I'm working on furniture now is just trying to get it to level 9. As you can see, I'm at 945. Just a little bit short. Need that extra percentage, get my bonds higher. Hopefully I'll get that worked out within the next couple days, because you can farm for furniture, it just reset. So I just need to go back and get all the currency for that. I believe it's from the old event. Voyage Memento, which I've been referring to as event this whole time. I'm on phase 17. I just need another level and I can get everyone to level 12 and then finish all this stuff out. Hopefully I'll do that today. Not exactly excited about 10 legendary tarots, because you never know how they're going to roll. But we're going to get over. The next one's going to be summon currency, supplies. Not sure exactly which supplies. Weapons, I will definitely like that. And that's pretty much going to do it for that quest line once I'm there. I've gotten all this stuff all the way over to 17. Just waiting for 18 to unlock. Probably need another level, or maybe I got to push out a certain thing. Now, as far as Fool's Journey goes, I've 100%ed, I believe, up to level 5 or 6. I don't know, but basically I've gotten all the stars, and still apparently have something to do on Chapter 6. And then Chapter 8 I haven't fully finished yet, because I've been spending most of my stamina going for events and other things, farming dungeons. As far as farming dungeons, everything is maxed right now except for Tarot Residual. I can't show you the other two because they're locked. I got this one to 3-star. I need to 3-star the other ones. So I will get to that whenever they open. And Weaponry Trial, you know, everything's 3-star, so no need to worry about those. Have those on farm status. Everything's maxed to where I can get it. Otherwise, Tower, I still got to work out floor 10, which I'm gonna do later today. But I've cleared floor 10 before, as you see, so just got to work up to that. I'll probably do that later on. And then as far as Spiral goes, I don't actually play Spiral as much as I did. I haven't even done as much as I did during the beta test week. Not that I don't like Spiral, I just don't find myself... I find myself wanting to spend the energy doing all the gacha side of stuff. So I'll show you how far I've got. I'm in chapter 4 right now of the Union storyline. And there's 6 chapters to it, so I still got a while to go, but... I try to spend a couple weeks. I've had a couple keys expire on me. That's just the way things go, because it's really hard to do this game and do both sides, Spiral and Fool's Journey and all the events, and make content for it at the same time. Otherwise, as far as what I'm planning to do, I am going to take the 3 units I told you about, they're right here, to 5-star. However long that's going to take, because Barrel is always going to be useful in almost everything, and Anna is going to be useful, or Princess Guard is going to be extra useful, and Gloria is always going to be useful, so those are safe choices. Now, as far as the next characters I'm thinking of, not even considering the banners, even though there is one I know that I can't tell you guys about, but I'm definitely going to be working on that character. But as far as this roster goes, once I'm done with them, I don't have to worry about them. Somona, I don't need to get 3 snow. It would be nice. I see her as more of a PvP unit. She does do really good stuff in PvE, so not saying that she doesn't. Fake House 3-star, so he's fine. Alexi's one of the candidates I'll probably start working on. Lilawill's one of the candidates I'll probably start working on. Don't need Samantha. And it's gonna be a toss-up between Ida and Nungal, which I'm just going to have to see at that point, because maybe it'll be Ida to 3-star and Nungal to 6-star, because getting her to 3-star won't take too long compared to everything else. Otherwise, there's going to be a banner for 2 units that are already out that I don't have that rhyme with bro, I will say. They're already out, so one of them I'm definitely going to take up. I'm highly considering if I get both of them taking up the second one as well. And there is another unit coming that, oh my god, she's gonna bump things too, so I just don't know who I'm gonna build up. Tough choices, tough choices. And I can't say the name because I'm contractually obligated not to. But gonna be a big unit in the future, for sure. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I guess I could show you my PvP. Although I don't know if there's a way to show you last season's PvP. Not sure. Yeah, I guess not. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna get platinum ranking, or whatever it is, radiance ranking. Once I get radiance ranking, I'm gonna take my defense and just throw up a bunch of randos. Stuff for people to destroy. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as what I'm gonna be doing, how stuff's shaking out, what I plan to do in the future. I definitely want to pull on the next 2 banners. I get my creator gems hopefully within a couple days, but should be in time for the next couple banners. That's pretty much my account review, guys. So let me know how your account's going, how you think the game is a month later. How do you feel about it? I want some really honest opinions on how you feel. Hope y'all found that interesting. Yo, I'm Showtime Doctor, Showtime DR. You found my YouTube. Hit like and subscribe for the content. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a great day.